every episode, it feels like we bring his name up. And the only reason we bring his name up, because he brings his own name up. He calls his own name. But, I've been accused of it every single episode that I have such a problem with Triple H that I'm just bitter. I'm bitter and I want a job at the same time, which means I'm an idiot because I'm going about this all the wrong way, James, to get it back in WWE's good graces. But he just keeps proving me right. And I don't want that. You know what I mean? Especially if you have a 2-night, 8-hour extravaganza. You know what I mean? But I'll let you continue to apologize to me.
I'm very sorry about that. He opens every major pay-per-view now. He opened both night 1 and 2, I think. But for some reason on my feed, that bit was cut out on night 1. And then I rewound it, and I'm sure I heard his voice. But
I did that.
Yeah. He is the star of his own reality series, which you described last week as a total vanity project for Triple H. And there's also the White House video where Trump put Triple H on a committee for presidential fitness tests in schools. But it wasn't even that. I sent you the video, and I could almost hear the slap of the palm of your hand on your forehead when you watched him do the whole walking out the White House and spitting the water out.
Yeah, and I show these things to my wife just so I can get a reaction. So when we were watching the SummerSlam stuff, I said, "Come here, baby. I want to show you something." She looked, turned, saw him in the ring. "Are you ready?" And she's like, "Oh my God, this guy again." And it's got to be there's got to be a point where it becomes so stale that fans turn on him. It's like too much. But yeah, the White House thing was funny. The fitness thing, we can talk about allegedly our stuff, but I would not take health and wellness and fitness advice unless I was in certain circles of Florida from that dude.
He's a bodybuilder. He wasn't an athlete.
Yeah.
Bodybuilders are among the least healthy people in the world. I mean, with all the alleged stuff they've shoved in their bodies over the decades to the point that their head has changed shape. But he also had a major heart attack at 50. I wouldn't take fitness advice from him at all.
Well, maybe that's a way to prevent people from being on Medicare and stuff in their later years. Have Hunter do that. But all kidding aside, that's true. Like, you have different people within the health and fitness world. Arnold back in the day was one thing because he was a major movie star. It was a lot more mainstream. But this feels very much, you want to talk about Nepo hires? This is through Linda McMahon. Hunter is getting these opportunities. And Trump better be careful too. And Hunter better be careful because which side? Trump is aligned with Vince. Hunter's aligned with Trump. There's all these different things. And people have said, well, you're on this side, you're on that side. No, I'm on the side of, if I'm a businessman, but like we are here, is to make a product and a show that everybody, no matter what belief outside of all of this stuff that doesn't even matter, can enjoy the show. That's what I mean. And they're lucky they haven't alienated a bigger portion of the audience with this kind of cross-pollination.
I've got a theory. Do you think that Triple H, or more specifically Paul Levesque, is trying to make himself indispensable to WWE, even on screen as well as off screen? Because we've all heard theories, we've probably talked about it before as well, that there could be a power play between The Rock and Triple H and anybody else, because everybody at that level is always, they're never going to agree 100%. And we all had theories that Triple H's creative was being usurped by The Rock's power. I'm wondering in 2025, is this Triple H's way of making himself so completely indispensable that WWE feel like they have to rely on him even more than they do now?
It's funny you mention that. We just got an email overnight from one of our audience members, Mark Edwards, who laid that exact scenario out. That basically, because I get lots of emails about these different theories on everything that's going on, and he basically said, do you think this is all on some level, Ari Emanuel, TKO, et cetera, all the damage control, broken storylines, and so on, that this is an effort to protect Triple H's job with forced notoriety? Not a bad theory. If you're out there and you're everywhere, and it's kind of like what I did on a much lower level. If I go to developmental, if I work house shows, if I help train, if I do a little bit of coaching and then wrestle to put people over, like if we can't fire them, we got them doing 7 different things. It's kind of the same thing on a much, much larger level. But I go back to what I said last episode. Dude, you have a bad heart. How much more can you take and how much more stress can you put on yourself? So, and he just keeps going. And that White House thing was a press conference, I think just a couple of days before SummerSlam, or, I mean, somewhere you got to fly down, fly right back to get back to, back to work. That's a lot of miles and a lot of stress on your body.
There's a lot of DVT as well. With all that flying. Yeah, deep vein thrombosis.
Yeah, I mean, God forbid, man. I mean, that's a scary thought too. A potential blood clot, especially with the heart issues and the altitude and all that stuff, can really be an issue.
Just to stick on this one more time, is this an opinion you had of Triple H, Paul Levesque, as he likes to be known now more? Is that an opinion you've just that he was always a big mark for himself that you've come to in the last couple of years, or did you just feel that way when you were around him in WWE as well?
Well, when he's a performer, we're all marks for trying to get our character as over as possible. Everybody's trying to fight and trying to figure out a way to get over. I had a propensity for putting people over while trying to get myself over to some degree to stay relative. But in that shark-infested water, or at the middle of the top to the top, it's a whole different world. What did it for me and what made me open my eyes up, because everybody had their suspicions, they looked. He was with Stephanie, obviously he's favored. And like I said, it could have went either way. He could have been fired in a month, or Vince could have done worse to him for dating his daughter, or he's going to end up running the company, and we know what happened. But what stuck out for me, and you can go back to, we have the clip somewhere, I forget what episode it was, when the memo went out saying that Triple H in a video game, in no circumstance and no marketing materials and no videos, images, written text, whatever it might be, smoke signals, carrier pigeon, cannot be shown in a vulnerable position. I'm not saying pinned, or he has to be over everybody in every clip for the video game. To me, I was like, this dude's an effing mark.
I need to do a correction from a week ago or 2 weeks ago. I was absolutely sure when you were saying with the Triple H Stephanie thing.
Oh, I have a story, by the way.
Good.
He had it. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I thought you meant No Way Out, which the month after that was in Connecticut. You were talking about the Royal Rumble, which was also Triple H Cactus Jack from the month before in Madison Square Garden. Yeah, that's my fault. I was sure you meant the month after, but whatever.
Well, what I'm going to say is that I probably got myself in a little bit of trouble, because there were times after this memo, and the boys kind of knew about it, because obviously I'm going to tell people that I saw it. Whenever Triple H was selling at the monitor, like we were at the monitor watching it, I would stand in front of the monitor and cover it up. You can't see this. You're not allowed.